Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
El autor viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
Yo. Buenas noches, buenos días, buenas tardes for you that watch it later. I don't expect many or anybody to watch this right now. But lately I've been doing night classes. It's just kind of the trend I'm doing. You know, maybe I'll eventually change back to what it was in the morning. Nobody was here that I know of. I think there's only 3, 2, 1 person. One screen says 3, the other person says 1. I don't even fucking know anymore. I do notice that this channel is having less viewers while it's live, whether it's in the evening or in the morning or afternoon. I don't know if it has to do anything with YouTube or if it has to do with the hate. I'm going to read this text to you guys. And I hope you're listening, man. I really hope that you're listening. Because this is the shit that I have to deal with. And I just really think that for whatever it is that you were trying to get out of, I hope that's what you were looking for. I'm surprised that you even send this to me. You said, forgive me. I've been distant, but you hurt me. And for that, I've taken it hard. And I've been distant with all the brothers. I believe it's me and how and where I'm at in my walk. And prehand, I ask for forgiveness before I ask or expect to receive or to move forward with my Father. Peace and blessings to you and your family. Well, it's kind of a slap in the face. And then, by the way, tell them I said goodnight. It's like a lot of you young men or men don't pay attention to the shit that you say. I saw this message like it was at 9:51, and I was already sleeping. I was very tired that day. I figured, let me tackle it. This was sent to me on Wednesday. The next morning, I totally forgot about it because I just had work in my mind. And then you said, well, I guess what happened doesn't matter anymore. I pray our Father gives you understanding dealing with brothers, quote unquote, our people. I truly love you as a brother, but as a friend, I know we probably never had any. There you go, assuming. Speaking for myself so I know how hard it is to be that my mistake and a misunderstanding as well. Take this as a brother that needs a big brother too. Yeah, well, let me share something with you, man. You're very inconsistent. I don't know what it is that you got going on, brother. The last time we spoke was just, we were supposed to do a live together and I just couldn't do it. And I text you and I say, hey, my wife, blah, blah, blah. And that's where we left it off. And then I called you a couple times and you didn't call me back. You didn't answer. I figured, hey, you're going through that because you told me yourself that sometimes you don't like watching my shit. So I thought you were going through that same mood. But then you send these messages. How the fuck is a man supposed to understand this shit, bro? I mean, this is kind of effeminate. Instead of texting me, you should have just called me again and hash it out. And one thing that I always tell people, man, like, don't ever text message people because whatever it is you're trying to say in a text message does not always translate to what you really want to say. Anyhow, why am I doing this late? Because I've been, sharing this information since 2022, and I told you, brothers and sisters, that these motherfuckers were going to turn on you. I told you they were going to do that. I never lied. You know what I mean? I never did this for money purposes. There was never no narrative. There was always facts. And by the way, this guy, he's got this channel going on, and it seems he's pretty new. I appreciate what he's doing. I get the point. I know why he's using AI. So if you guys don't appreciate it, I don't know why, but you should, because our fucking history matters. Our history matters. Our people matter. All the shit that's going on fucking matters. My children matter. My mother matters. My dad matters. My brothers matter. My neighbors matter. Where I come from matters. Our history fucking matters. And for fucking dumbasses that are from another country, West Africa or North Europe or Poland, all claiming to be people they're not, fuck yeah, it fucking bothers me. Y'all claiming to be the Israelites, first of all, and you can't prove the damn darn thing. You can't go by just verse 60-8 in Deuteronomy 28. Take that shit out of the scriptures and guess what happens? You got nothing. And then you got these idiots that try to say, oh, well, we were the original people here. Really? Where is your fucking diet? Where's your clothing? Huh? Where's the oppressive experiences that you were supposed to be still go through? How come you don't speak Spanish? How come you don't know the Padre Nuestro? How come you don't eat the food that we eat? What, did we steal that shit from you too? Where is the history that shows, not just by bullshit pictures, but real facts that you guys are the people and we just came and invaded your ass? There's a lie to that. And as long as the Most High gives me the energy and ganas to do this shit, I'm going to continue doing this shit. And I know that my own fucking people hate me, man. Man, it's just so sad, bro. It's so sad. I get more hate from the people that look like me than anybody else. It's fucked up, man. So now I'm really wondering, are you guys Hebrews? It's time to fucking start questioning that shit.
We are the real Americans, the original people of this land, and this is the story of how we perished on the hands of Europeans and how they took our lands. The story of the United States of America, never told before, from our perspective.
They came with flames in their eyes, with ships that cut the horizon like blades. In their hearts, no mercy. In their minds, no thought of peace.
They came with a hunger that devoured the sun.
These people that came were not just gringos, güeros. They were morenos, negros, suarty motherfuckers. Stinky, dirty bastards that came with other diseases and shit. Until this day, now they're all happy and clapping that you're getting deported. Once again, my name is Yosheyahu, a Judah king. You tell one of these Canaanites to try to take that shit from me. None of them will. None of them will.
And a thirst that no river could quench. They stepped onto our shores, as if the earth itself was theirs by birthright.
They spoke in tongues we did not know, but their hands spoke clearly, hands that took without asking, hands.
She said they spoke in tongues without us that we didn't know. Sometimes I stay away from the scriptures when I do some classes, but it just has to be brought back. Deuteronomy 28:49, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far. We understand that already. Black and white folks came from a far place. They worked together. They had slaves since 1492, fought with the Confederacy in 1865 to keep fucking slaves. You're not going to lie to us anymore about that shit. From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. What did she say?
By birthright.
They spoke in tongues we did not know, but their hands spoke clearly, hands that took without asking, hands that took what they did not plant, hands that killed without hesitation. They came with immoral thoughts, to seize the land, to break the spirit, to annihilate everyone they set their eyes on.
See that? With no morale. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. 48, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he had destroyed thee. She literally just said that. I keep saying in this channel that your heritage is so beautiful and so powerful. And you know what you guys prefer to do? Continue to listen to fucking soccer stories and boxing shit and, you know, Christmas Christianity and believe the white man, believe the black man, and believe the Asians and the Arabs and everybody fucking else but your own people. You're weak. If that's what it takes, y'all are weak because you're scared.
Without hesitation. They came with immoral thoughts, to seize the land, to break the spirit, to annihilate everyone they set their eyes on. And they did. Over 3 generations, they drove us to extinction, not just the body, but the name, the language, the song.
They poisoned our streams with their greed and got rid of everyone in their way.
Each season, whites moved the lines of our world back until there was nowhere left to go. I am Nematanu.
Each season, the whites and the blacks move the lands back. Both of you motherfuckers always talk about, like, you know, y'all are the people of the book and shit. You know, and I find it so funny, man. Because it literally says in the Bible, Deuteronomy 19:14, thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, which they of the old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit. Look, I'll just simply read it to you for you fucking simpletons. Do not move your neighbor's property line established long ago in the land that the Lord your God has given you. How can you white folks all of a sudden take that interpretation and apply it to yourselves unless you think you're the Israelites? That's what it is.
Powhatan's warrior. The English came in wooden beasts, bringing disease and famine's feast. They settled Jamestown on stolen ground, claimed our villages without a sound. Starved and beaten, we tried to live, but they took more than they would give. They slaughtered 60 in one breath, a cruel shadow whispering death. Our land seized, our freedom torn, a people's heart forever mourned.
I was not a princess in your painted story. I was a daughter of the river, child of Powhatan's people. Born under the whisper of cedar leaves, my feet in the earth that knew me by name.
The way I have a book there that actually is referring to the kidnapping of Pocahontas. And mind you, the little girl, she was only, I believe, 9 or 11 years old. She was not a woman like the cartoons that make it appear. You pedophile white people, because that's in your nature, it's statistically proven. FBI even has it on their records. You pedophile white folks kidnapped our little sister and raped her, that 9-year-old. Do you think anybody should trust people like you? Shit, man. Y'all complain about other men taking your women. Well, the fuck? Your women are the ones that are over here running into other men because you guys like little kids. Since 1492. Both of you, to be honest with you, but you know what I'm saying right now? The white side kind of takes advantage of that a little bit more.
Amanute, but you know me as by a different name. I was taken from my river, my hair cut by strange hands, my tongue taught to betray itself, fed me prayers I did not know, and married me into a cage of foreign words. I was not a princess in your painted story. I was a daughter of the river, child of Powhatan's people. They call me converted. I call myself stolen. I am not the girl you painted. I am Pocahontas, and my truth is not your story.
I am Opechancanough, warrior bold, who fought the whites as our lands they stole. 3 wars long, with blood we bled, defending earth our fathers tread.
Thousands died beneath invaders' guns, yet still our fight was never done. My name is Sasakas, Pequot chief. Faced fire and fury.
700 lost in smoke and flame, their name erased, but not their claim. The English marched with bloodied hands to claim our lives, our sacred lands.
I'm going to show you the book real quick. I've been meaning to show you this again. I showed it to you a little while ago. For all you guys that think that that it didn't happen, like that Pocahontas was like not a true story and shit. It was a true story. It was definitely a true story. I'm going to go to page 25. Give me a second. Oh, that was too much. 25. I'm just going to read that page. It's this sister right here. Listen to her.
My feet in the earth that knew me by name, Amanute, but you know me as by a different name. I was taken from my river, my hair cut by strange hands, my tongue taught to betray itself, fed me prayers I did not know, and married me into a cage of foreign words. I was not a princess in your painted story. I was a daughter of the river, child of Powhatan's people. They call me converted. I call myself stolen. I am not the girl you painted. I am Pocahontas, and my truth is not your story.
I am Opechancanough, warrior bold, who fought the whites as our lands they stole. 3 wars long, with blood we bled, defending earth our fathers tread.
Thousands died beneath invaders' guns, yet still our fight was never done. My name...
Hold on, let me show you. This is from the present day of Virginia. Page 25. Come on, man. Page 25. This is her story right here. Okay. 2 ships more arrived with supplies, and Captain Argyle, who commanded one of them, being sent in her to Potomac to buy corn. He there met with Pocahontas, The Excellent Daughter of Powhatan. Now, if you guys have seen that movie from Leonardo DiCaprio, where he has a son that's a native, and in that movie, you see this native leader. He's like on a hunt for something. You know, like everybody in his tribe is looking like they're killing, you know, white people, settlers, fucking colonizers, wicked ass dirty people. So they're going around looking for somebody, and then you find out that he was looking for his daughter. So that movie, without really saying it, is referring to Pocahontas. Okay, and they were raping her the entire time. So for all you stupid ass wobbles from West Africa claiming to be our indigenous people, bro, shut the fuck up. Y'all can't prove shit. None of you have ever actually stepped up to the game and debated somebody sincerely to prove that shit. Yeah, you talk to dumbass people. Yeah, I get it. You run into them dumbass Mexicans. You damn right you will. But not the ones that are actually well versed in this fucking field. The Excellent Daughter of Powhatan, and having prevailed with her to come aboard to a treat, he detained her prisoner and carried her to Jamestown, designing to make peace with her father by her release. But on the contrary, the prince resented the offsfront very highly, and although he loved his daughter with all imaginable, the tenderness, yet he would not be brought to terms by that unhandsome treachery till about 2 years after a marriage being proposed between Mr. John Rolfe, an English gentleman, fuck you pedophile, and this lady. She was no lady. They took her at 9 years old, which Powhatan, taking to be a sincere token of friendship, he vouched to consent to it and to conclude peace. The intermarriage had been indeed the method proposed very often by Indians in the beginning. Now, I'm going to tell you something, that a lot of these crackety-crack, dirty-ass bastards married into those dumbass indigenous sisters, and then they took the land. And see, that was technically prophetic. It was supposed to be that way. Because in this same Deuteronomy book, it tells you what's going to happen if you don't listen, and how he's going to put you below other people. The nerve of some of these negros that claiming that they're from this land, and like all of a sudden they want to say that supposedly foreigners who live in your land will gain more and more power. What the fuck are you talking about? Judah, what's his name? Judah, whatever the fuck it is. Like trying to, bro, shut your ass up with your little lips talk. You have no clue what you're saying. What crops? Oh, that's right. You guys think you're from here. So that's why you're going that route. Because once you read the verses for what they are, you can't be West Africans and claim that you're Hebrews. You just can't. Once again, this pedophilia of white people is real. And it's been going on since 1492. It's going on today. Why do you think Trump is running from his history? Fucking pedophile. Bro, he was convicted. Like, do you guys not read the news?
Name is Sasakas, Pequot chief. Faced fire and fury.
700 lost in smoke and flame, their name erased, but not their claim. The English marched with bloodied hands to claim our lives, our sacred lands.
They rang their bells and fired their guns, declaring freedom from the crown of England. Their freedom was our desolation. They tore down one empire only to build another, with our lands as its foundation stones, with our blood as its mortar. No freedom came for the Indian, only wrath and pain and the long shadow of extinction.
They burned our villages, broke our treaties before the ink was dry.
Their revolution was not for all, only for themselves. I am Little Turtle, fighting invaders fueled by lust. For 10 long years, we pushed them back. They believed their muskets and steel made them untouchable. But on that day, they belonged to us. Battle roared like thunder. We moved swift as lightning. Arrows flew, muskets cracked, the air filled with the screams of men who thought no Indian could bring them down. They would try to hide this victory,
call it a massacre, erase it from their books. But our stories are stronger than their lies.
Tecumseh, the Shawnee chief, I roar, against the settlers who came to war.
They burned our villages, poisoned our streams, but never shattered our dreams.
I am Crazy Horse. We met the whites, our heads unbowed. At Little Bighorn, we struck a blow. 300 soldiers laid low.
But victory's taste was bittersweet, for years of war would not defeat.
I am Red Cloud, Lakota's might.
You look and see, like, for example, these are all AI, okay? But when you know history and you read it and you find out exactly what happened to our people, then you understand exactly what this means. You see, these aren't memories that are supposed to be forgotten. This is the real shit that fucking matters when you're reading the books and the material that you're finding, and you know damn well that we've been pushed back to the end of the fucking bus. In front of white people, in front of black people, in front of Asians, in front of Arabs, in front of fucking Hindu dumbasses and shit like Vivek. All of them. And a lot of you guys still want equality. You still want to be friends. You still want to be liked. Quieres quedar bien con ellos, güey. You guys are a sad fucking case, man. It's not depressing, man. It's just sad, man. It's just fucking sad. Let's continue.
Fought for treaty, fought for right.
We forced the whites to change their game. For 2 long years we held the land, a rare victory by our hand.
Ghost dance danced, hope aflame, but soldiers came with death to claim. 200 souls, young and old, cut down in winter's deadly cold.
Wounded knee, a silence loud, a people's sorrow wrapped in shroud.
They gave us poison blankets, cold gifts in the dead of winter, stitched with the breath of sickness. Smallpox carried like a whisper of death. They spread the pandemic of their hate, not only in our bodies, but in the soil they stole. They removed us from our lands, as if our roots could be pulled from the earth without tearing the heart of the world.
This was their biological warfare, crafted not in the name of battle, but in the quiet cruelty of conquest. An inhumane war waged against my people.
Mothers went first, their arms empty where an offspring once slept. Their roots followed, their laughter silenced before it could grow. The old died last, carrying the stories no one would hear again.
They took us on the longest journey, across rivers that froze beneath our feet, through hills that tore our breath away, across lands that had once known our names. Each step was a mile of grief, each mile a grave dug in silence. And still they pushed us forward, believing that if our bodies fell, our spirit would remain behind, broken, forgotten, erased. But the spirit of the Indian does not die on the trail. It walks beside us still. You can hear the footsteps of those who never came home.
They said it was God's will, a holy calling, and they claimed to spread west, but the only thing they spread was their wickedness, their hate, their chains. In the name of destiny, they bound men and women in shackles, slaves to build the wealth of others, while we, the first people, stood in their way, the obstacle to their selfish glory. They murdered our leaders and called it progress, but I call it what it was. Tyranny dressed in the language of freedom. They boast they built this country on the backs of slaves, but the truth is darker. They built it on the corpses of the Indian, on the broken bones buried beneath every city, beneath every rail, beneath every road they claim as their own. My heroes drew the bow, pulled the trigger, and sent cowboys to the dust, for the cowboy was not a hero to us. Today they dress their ancestors in gentle words, calling them settlers and pioneers. But the truth wears a different face.
They do not dare teach this to their children. They do not dare print it in their history book.
They prefer to tell a softer lie, that it was God's will, that they were his chosen people. But the only God they truly worshipped was the green paper they could fold in their pockets.
They say they took from the Indian because there were no laws. But what are laws if not moral code?
Biblical passages, the 10 Commandments they claim to believe, they broke every one.
They stole. They murdered. They coveted. They bore false witness against us.
Everything that these piece of shits believed in, supposedly, they broke. Now, for you guys that don't understand exactly what I'm talking about, this is occupation of Middle America, actually occupied America, to be honest with you. And let me remind you of something here. See, people are just wicked, man. This goes to what was that guy, Jose Cantu? He came
When there are
he was a fucking Muslim. He said he was a Muslim, right? And I got something for you, Muslims. You funky bastards. You sit in the back and kind of watch my channel and shit. So we don't have this tradition. You Israelis do in your religion. You Muslims study the Talmud. Matter of fact, the Muslim Quran has a lot of similar statements that the Talmud has. And this is what your book believes.
when there are signs of physical maturity, it becomes permissible for the husband in Islamic law to have marital relationships or consummate the relation with his bride. And this is the example of the Prophet, peace be upon him.
Do you know what precocious puberty is?
Starting puberty unusually early.
Is there anything in Islam that prevents you from, a man marrying a 5-year-old that started precocious puberty?
You can arrange a marriage even as an infant, but that doesn't mean that sex is allowed.
Could a man have a marriage to a 5-year-old consummated if she started precocious puberty?
If she starts showing signs of physical maturity, then yes, that's permissible, as I said. Principle.
That's your Islam shit. The fuck is that about? What kind of demons are we dealing with here?
Or
if there are signs of, so
we are the indigenous.
Hold on, brother. I got you. What kind of demons are we dealing with here? You know what I'm saying? I know what we're about. This is why I love history. Institutionalizing inequality. This is from chapter 2. It's Occupied America. I believe this is the 7th edition, not the 3rd. Okay? It says, before the arrival of the Spaniards, women generally married when they were about 20 years old. Not 9, white people. Not 11 or 12, black folks. Because, GMS said the same shit. GMS was like, well, at 12 years old, she still has puberty. GMS said that shit and we know how that shit is rampant in your little PHI groups. It says, before the arrival of Spaniards, which were black and white folks, okay, Swarthy, black, white, you know what I'm saying? Like red, dark, brown, dark, light brown, curly hair, wavy hair, you know what I'm saying? Blonde hair, all that shit. Before the arrival of the Spaniards, our people, indigenous, not black, women generally married when they were about 20 years old of age, which actually connects to the book. Because if you look back into the time frame or age of when somebody should be getting married, it almost seems like it's around the 20th age. Numbers 1 and 20 says this. It says, and the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son, by their generation, after their families, by the house of their fathers, which comes from the seed, according to the number of the names, by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go to war. So it seems like the 20-year age is where our gente considered you somewhat of an adult. You saw that, huh? Yeah, you go, brother. Thank you. I'm glad you caught that. That is the first person that actually caught it. They never show up to this channel, man. They're more than welcome to hit the fucking link right there. I got time for some of that bullshit. If you're new to this channel, the Mexican G, appreciate you being here, brother. You may like it, you may not. Because I'm pretty fucking raw. Let me continue. before the arrival of the Spaniards, which are once again white skin, swarty skin, black skin, curly hair, wavy hair, blonde hair, all kinds of hair. Okay? So when they came, women here generally married when they were about 20 years old of age, which means the men, when they were getting ready to go to wars, because you're a man now, you're ready to go fight. And if you just got married, the Bible says so, they give you a year to enjoy your wife. And she enjoy you too, of course. That's how it works. So we understand now that this whole fucking pedophile shit is a European and African thing. In another change that took place after the arrival of the Spaniards, however, church friars, which were not just white people, by the way, encouraged females to marry at 12 or 14. What kind of fucking shit is that? Early reproduction often resulted in health disorders, including anemia. See this? Society was a patriarchal, and men received preferential treatments in nutrition because they were obviously the physically and having to go to war. Even in death, men received favored treatment as they were more likely than women to be buried within the church courtyard. In some, the colonization worsened the status of women and increased violence towards them. The family structure also changed during the colonial period. For a time, the native nobility kept much of the prestige, meaning the elders. But the colonization led to the breakup of the traditional indigenous family framework, which was based on an extended family, meaning tu abuelito, abuelita, you know what I mean? They're part of the family. It's kind of like if you see the movie Coco, the grandma. If her husband was alive, I'm sure he'd be there too. But it's like that. We have massive respect to our elders, our grandmas, our abuelitos, abuelitas, our parents, you know what I'm saying? So it was based on extended family rather than the highly patriarchal nuclear family that the Spaniards favored, which means what? According to the Carmick and his colleagues, colonial authorities believed that the Indians or indigenous, our gente, would be easier to supervise and control if divided into small nuclear households. Now you see why there's Mexicans, Salvadoreños, Nicaraguenses, Peruanos. You see what the difference is now? They prefer to separate us in small nuclear households, small nuclear barrios, small nuclear countries, so then they could fucking do what? Control your stupid asses. Which not only reduced the authority of the elders, which is why a lot of you guys fight to respect your dad and your mom. A lot of our people they respect their elders, but you guys fucking have a problem respecting them. You respect them, but you have a problem respecting them. Because you have that fucking white way of you. The shit that was taught to you, or somehow you're still trying to express it. I don't know what's going on within yourself. But here we see that not only reduced the authority of the elders, but also removed the support network for women within the clan. Early marriage also influenced gender relations and increased the power of male within the nuclear families, reducing the authority of native women within the clan. The age difference between male and female spouses favored the male. You see, so a 20-year-old male was now, after the white and black folks showed up in our land, allowed to marry little fucking kids. Who's a real pedophile? Who's a real pedophile? Oh, but let me not say that out loud, huh? It'll offend you too much. Because that's what it's about, you guys. You guys are too afraid. You're too afraid to be offended. The moment you hear something that you don't like, oh, fuck this guy, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, well, you know what? It is what it is, man. I'm going to keep pushing and showing who we are according to our history and according to my belief, which I use the scriptures. And I have not been wrong in anything that I've proven. You can have some dumbass indigenous brother to come here and say that he's not a Hebrew, and I will show him in the Bible how we are, from clothing to food to thought process to tradition. And you know what they'll end up doing? They'll still not believe. I'm being serious. There's a reason why this channel doesn't grow. There's definitely the purpose of the Most High, and also, man, there's just this. I'm going against the grain. I'm going against the grain. Not even their algorithm can figure me out. Let's go.
Not relics. We are not myths or symbols in a textbook. We are nations. We are languages. We are ceremonies. We are families. We are protectors of the land. We are survivors. We are the first and the forever people of the Americas. To be Native American is not only to descend from the first inhabitants of this continent. It is to live in defiance of erasure. It is to carry the flame of memory forward. Live in defiance of erasure. It is to be Native American. To be Native American is not only to descend from the first inhabitants of this continent. It is to live in defiance of erasure. It is to carry the flame of memory forward, knowing that we are the living continuation of our ancestors. We are not.
I'm glad that I heard this sister say that. Thank you, sis. I mean, I know it's an AI, but whoever wrote this shit, thank you.
The first and the forever people of the Americas. To be Native American is not only to descend from the first inhabitants of this continent. It is to live in defiance of erasure.
To live in defiance of erasure. I've showed you guys many, many fucking times. Many times. And you know what? There's no other channel that ever showed you guys this. Ever. Not IUIC, not GMS, not ISUPK, not Sakari when they were alive. None of that. I showed you guys this from the Lutheran newsletter. I'm going to skim through it. It's basically explaining how when the Spaniards came, in 1539 was the first time they had a printing company here. During that time, Sumarraga did not allow us to fucking read and write. That's for sure. What they did teach us was the Christian compendium. Okay? And on this page here is actually explaining how this guy has an actual copy of it. So it was a book, a Bible of 25 volumes, kind of like the old Encyclopedia Britannica with an atlas, and cost over $200. This is in 1800. Okay? 1831 to 1833 was the first time they printed a Bible in Mexico. Do you understand that? They had Bibles in the states, northern part of Mexico, since they came. So the black man and the white man both had access to the Bible way before we did. Do you understand what that fucking means? Don't let that pass your forehead by. We, since 1492 up until 1915 or 20, were not authorized to read the Bible, family. Probably even later in those years. And the only reason I know this shit was because most of us at that time were illiterate. Only 5 to 3% of the people, the population, were able to read and write. They were the wealthy ones, the ones that were doing okay. Keep in mind that after Pancho Villa, several schools were built in Mexico to teach our people how to read and write, which was one of the reasons why Pancho Villa fought for a higher education. He understood that there was a difference when you're not educated, or at least not well versed in reading. Here we see in 1831, they finally get a Bible printed. It says, a magnificent copy of this edition is before me as I write. So I say that Spain never allowed Mexico the sight of the word of God in all the centuries of her dominion. Of course, the Latin book could have been had. Now, you gente that has family in Mexico, ask your grandmas, that are still hopefully alive, maybe they remember churches being actually, taught in Latin. For 350 years, the Mexican press has been at work on the lives of saints, and catechisms, on the silliest, most vapid and immoral tales in Spanish, and taken from the Italian and French. But the Bible is today an unknown book in Mexico among the majority of the people. That was printed in September 7th, the year 1900. I don't expect a lot of people to watch this tonight. But at the same time, a lot of you motherfuckers are up late anyways. So, in a way, I'm like, we are getting to that point. We are getting to that point. Let's continue.
Indigenous people of America, we always been here.
If you don't look like us, you are not native or original to America, and that's facts.
Our history in the Americas is over 25,000 years old. We are the original people here. We are the indigenous people of America. We always been here.
If you don't look like us, you are not native or original to America.
Stop lying. Black Americans are not Aztec or Maya. The walls don't show you. Stop lying. Black Americans are not Aztec
They said
or Maya.
Olmecs went
The
extinct.
walls don't show you. Stop
We are
lying.
still here.
Black Americans are not Aztec or Maya. The walls don't show you. Stop lying. Black Americans are not Aztec or Maya. The walls don't show you. Stop lying.
The Olmec phenotype is found among indigenous people in the Americas.
The walls don't show
Thick
you.
lips, wide nose
Stop
are not
lying.
exclusive to Africans.
Black Americans
And we are
are
proof
not
of that.
Aztec or Maya.
We are Native Americans.
The walls don't show you.
A sign. Okay.
Mexico is Native American land. Mexicans are Native Americans.
Before the border, we were already here. We are desert nations, river people, mountain watchers. The lines drawn by others do not erase us. Our memory is older than any map. We are indigenous people of this continent we call America, and this nation known as Mexico. We are not illegal on any side of the border. Before laws existed written by strangers, we already existed.
We are the original peoples of Mexico. Long before Mexico had a name, our ancestors were here. We speakers of 1,000 tongues. In Mexico today, we are more than 70 indigenous nations. We are not remnants of the past, we are the present.
We are Raramuri, the light-footed people. You know us as Tarahumara. We live in the deep canyons of Chihuahua. We run for miles through mountains without shoes. Our language is Raramuri, and our life is close to the earth. Though roads and mines have scarred our land, our spirit runs free.
We are the Nahua people, descendants of those who built Tenochtitlan. Our language is Nahuatl, still spoken by over 2 million of us. We live across Puebla, Hidalgo, Guerrero, and beyond. Our ceremonies honor Tonantzin, the Mother Earth.
I am Purepecha. We live in the green lands of Michoacán. Our ancestors never bowed to the Aztec Mexica.
We had kings, iron workers, fishermen. Our language still echoes in the towns of Tzintzuntzan and Cherán. We are the Maya. Our pyramids still stand under the sun. We speak Yucatec, Tzotzil, Celtal, Quiché. We live in Chiapas, Campeche, Yucatán, Quintana Roo. Our calendar, our weavings, our milpa are alive.
I am Nusabi, people of the rain. The world calls us Mixtecs, we one of the many.
Our codices were written before Columbus breathed. Before Spain sailed to the Americas in 1492. We were already building civilizations.
We are Vinisa, the cloud people. Others call us Zapotecs. We live in Oaxaca, in the Sierra, in the valleys, on the isthmus.
We gave birth to cities like Monte Alban. Today, we are over 400,000 strong and growing.
We are the Totonac people, from the land of vanilla and the flying men.
I want to share something. There's another place where they do that. There's only one other place where they do that. And you probably are not going to guess where. If I can find a picture, I'll show it. I'll share it. But it's in India. Yeah. This is why I keep saying that I can prove our migration also based on customs, things that we do, food that we eat, food that we still prefer, and the way we cook it. You see, I don't just need the Deuteronomy curses, man. Anyhow, let me look for the picture.
I am Huichárica. You call us Huichol. Our home is in the Sierra Madre, between Jalisco and Nayarit. Our language is sacred. Our tribes across Mexico and USA are Torim and Pascuayaqui. But we are one people scattered between two nations. We are the Lipan Apache. Driven south by war, many of us found refuge in Coahuila, Mexico. Our cousins live in Texas and New Mexico.
We are the Mexican Kikapu tribe in Coahuila in Mexico.
We keep our language alive with our children. We farm, we hunt, we sing the old ways. We are not Mexican or American. We are Kikapu.
This is just a beginning. There are dozens more. The Mazahua, the Triqui, the Tzeltal, the Mayo, the Chinantec, the Seri, the Lacandon, and so many others.
This is Democracy Now!
My bad. I was too distracted looking for the picture. I want to show you this real quick. This is from a link. It's called Project 2025 Tracker. So what it's doing is it's tracking their objective and so far their accomplishments. So we see here, and in case you guys don't know what this is, okay, let me show you. Hold on. What is this? What does this mean to us ignoramuses? You know what I mean? We don't know nothing, right? We don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. We're just dumb. We're just indigenous. That's what they see. Let them keep thinking that. Let them keep thinking that. Project 2025, also known as the 2025 Presidential Transition Project. Transition. You see this? The Heritage Foundation about Project 2025. It's funny how they call it transition, presidential. It's a political initiative to reshape the federal government of the United States and consolidate executive power in favor of right-wing policies. So I'm going to show you how this is being done. I'll just get to one point because I think this is probably the most important. It says here, it's talking about progress and agency. Oh, that's right. I clicked on this link and I say this link. So the link that I got to was what is the objective in the Department of Homeland Security. Like this is all, public. This is not, secret. So it says here that they've completed so far increased ICE funding by 100,000 detention beds. I thought you wanted to deport. Why would you need 100,000 detention beds? This means profit and punishment. Profit and punishment. It almost equals the same thing. Increase USCIS fees and implement fee for asylum applications. Repeal TPS designation. So the TPS is for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelanos. All you motherfuckers that voted for him. Maybe not these guys. But definitely these two here, Cubans and Venezuelanos. I don't know about you guys. Here goes. Authorize state and local law enforcement to participate in immigration actions. So this is something that they had written a long past, maybe 5, 7, 8, 10, 15, 20 years ago that they wanted. This is not like from 4 years ago, planned it out. They've been working on this for, I would say, 20 plus years. Then it says, they have also created detention standard that includes the flexibility to use large numbers of temporary facilities such as tents. So within the Department of Homeland Security, they changed policies that allow them to do this. But at the same time, they're supposedly trying to decimate particular policies that are not part of their constitution because that's a stretch of government. But yet, in this very same conversation, they're also stretching government policies because it's within their boundaries. DHS eliminate the office for civil. Listen to this. Listen, this is very fucking important. Do you understand what this means right here, family? I need you to look at this. Eliminate the Office for Civil Rights and Civil Liberties. Okay? Then the other one they've completed, eliminate the Office of the Citizenship and the Immigration Services Ombudsman. Now, why is that interesting? Because of this. What the fuck does that word mean? You know me, man, I'm curious. I'm like, what does it mean? I've never heard this before. So this word means a person who investigates, reports on, and helps settle complaints. Oh, shit, my bad. You see this? A person who investigates, reports on, and helps settle complaints. So these guys eliminate the Office of Citizenship and Immigration Services of Ombudsman, meaning if they want to get rid of the department where you get a chance to complain about their treatment towards you. Fuck. Hey, American Chorro, this is what you voted for, dumbass. This is what you voted for. Hey, Maria, this is what you voted for, dumbass. I mean, this is who you married. My sister married a fucking dumbass MAGA. Okay? But isn't what's so funny? The last name is, he calls himself Rich, last name, but it's Reich, to be honest, because you spell it that way, R-E-I-C-H. Think about that. We have Nazis among my family. Fucking shit. Didn't even think of that shit. Since 2016, man, this guy was already praising Donald Trump. That's when we stopped talking. So I knew this was going to happen even in 2016, man. Then it says, eliminate the Office of Immigration Detention Ombudsman, meaning these detention centers, there's nobody in there evaluating or checking to see if they're fucking keeping the law. No, they're like, fuck you. Get out of here. We're going to treat these beaner spicks wetbags as we please. That's what they're doing with all of this right here. Terminate CISA, counter disinformation. Read more. Increase use of civil search warrants for workplace raids. See? But they are not using warrants. DHS Secretary should quickly remove all current members of the Homeland Security Advisory Committee and replace them. That was accomplished. I should be required to take custody of all aliens, fuck you, with records of for felonies, DUIs, and any other crime that is considered a national security or public safety threat. Why don't you deport your own kind that do that shit consistently? I mean, I've met people, seriously, because, I walked through these little vines at one point in my life when I was young. A white man had 25 fucking DUIs. Why don't you, deport his ass to where he's from? You can do that if it's about, criminality and shit. But it's pure racism, you fuck faces. This is what it is. Dismiss the entirety of the CISA, Cybersecurity Advisory Committee. Raise the standard for a credible fear of persecution for asylum. You see this? So threaten people. If you ask for asylum, we're gonna hurt you somehow, some way. Why would you even think that they wouldn't hurt our people? I mean, we already know what happened in Guantanamo Bay. We know how the fuck white people feel about Muslims. Come on, bro. Let's stop it. End the Flores Settlement Agreement, which sets basic standards for care for immigrant children in custody. You see this shit right there? And you know what's so funny? Maybe a lot of you guys won't even know that I did this. Because YouTube may actually take this off. I mean, they have the right to do whatever the fuck they want. Practically. They'll make an excuse for it. And the Flores Settlement Agreement, which sets basic standards of care for immigrant children in custody. It says that this, just by caring for the kids that they end up fucking trying to deport, that it gets in the way or it encourages immigration, like as if people want to get caught so then you could feed them. You white people have a fucking sick mind. In progress, eliminate most of DHS grant programs. We can go on and on. We can go on and on. We can go on and on. But you guys don't care. Nah, las novelas, güey. Esas son las que valen más berg. You know what I'm saying? I want to see that shit. This is why, I don't feel sorry for these stupid asses right here. I don't feel sorry.
All of my...
I really don't, This is like American chorro and shit. If, they're going to stop you one day, fool, and see how you feel about that shit. Well, I voted for Trump, and I'm proud of it. Oh, really? Okay, you want to be Mexican?
My life, 50 years I've been here, I've never been harassed by Border Patrol on this side of the border like this. This is outrageous.
Why are we not allowed to be here? Because we're not white? Our skin doesn't match.
That's George Doylis. He and his wife are from Imperial Valley, and they love to camp. So when they were headed up to a dental specialist in North County on Wednesday, they decided to explore Jacumba and this area around Boulevard. They headed up this road to see if they could find a campsite, and that's when they say their day took a very different turn.
We didn't think anything of it. We're an American citizens. We're on U.S. soil. Why should we be afraid?
George and his wife Esmeralda say an unmarked SUV started following them and pulled them over. They say Border Patrol agents first approached wearing masks.
So the reason why we're stopping you is because you do U-turns and there's a known alien out in the area.
He told the agents where they were going and that they did not consent to any search.
If you have a dentist appointment, it probably wasn't the best decision to be out in the middle of nowhere.
No, we have the right to travel anywhere we want to travel.
You do. You're absolutely right, you do. And I actually have the right and authority to stop you.
The couple sat in their car as the agents brought a canine.
It's called reasonable suspicion.
Do you think that they had reasonable suspicion to stop you and search your vehicle?
Not at all. Not at all.
The dog did smell a small amount of legally purchased cannabis, so they got out for a full search. 30 minutes in, the agent says he could take their vehicle, but...
I'm going to go ahead and let you off with a warning.
George and Esmeralda both voted for the first time in 2020 and again in 2024 for President Donald Trump.
Oh, you dumbasses. Oh, shit. Y'all make me laugh the most. How could this happen to me? I'm in America. You really thought you were white, huh? You really thought you were white. See, this is what happens with you people. Do you guys really think that American, like I'm American, like that makes you white? You see, white people, when they say American, it means something totally different than when Raza says American, and even when black folks say American. Especially when Japanese, Chinese, Arabs, Indian from Hindu towns and shit. Even when they say that shit, they're not even comfortable. When white people say American, it's a total different dynamic. I know that you guys are confused by that understanding, but you need to start waking the fuck up to what really is going on here. You are not an American. You may be of the Americas, but you are not an American. Así te ve el gringo, cabrón.
As they see his immigration crackdown,
do you regret your vote?
Yes, I do.
Once again, they've accomplished some parts of what they wanted. There are still some things they want to accomplish. They're working on this one. So this is a website called Project 2025 Tracker, a comprehensive community-driven initiative to track the implementation of Project 2025's policy proposals. So they're, you could say, halfway through. Time until the end of term. They're counting the days before these fuckers go get here. Do you see this? I mean, but let's just kind of focus on, hold on, let me see if I can go back. Okay, so it says here, progress by agency, commodity future trading commissions, White House, blah, blah, blah. So I just basically clicked here. And that's where it started giving me this. And then from there, I went to other places. but it's a very interesting site. Matter of fact, check it out. Let you guys have it. But it took me there. Overall. So while you guys are having fun and thinking things are cool, these people are at work. You know, the scriptures talk about that. The devil never sleeps. He never sleeps. Don't know why you guys are thinking that they're sleeping. They're not sleeping. You know what I mean? I know we all need to sleep, but they're not sleeping, family. I want to listen to this guy. This is interesting. Thank you, brother, for sending me this shit, man. This is fucking crazy.
Jesus Christ. All these crybabies around my post regarding the surveillance state that the guy that claimed to come to get rid of the deep state and challenge the deep state just made a deal with the fucking deep state. I'm not going to stop talking about it. I don't care if it hurts your fucking feelings. This was everything that MAGA was about, was not this. And he's doing a deal because they invested in his fucking campaign. They invested in J.D. Vance's campaign. And now we're doing a deal for a surveillance state. It's fucking so lame. It bums me out for you guys. Man, I just wear my fucking masks out there. I don't have no real ID. I have a diplomatic passport. I ain't getting the real ID. I'm above that shit. You're getting forced into the real ID. Your driver's license, if you've got a passport, social security number, and your face as a fingerprint is all going to be in a database tracking you. It will be connected to your credit score. It will be connected to medications you have. It will determine the outcome of your life. Resist, resist, resist. This president was not supposed to be complicit in that. Here they are. And if you're calling me a fucking libtard or saying this is far left news because I'm talking about this, you're a fucking idiot. You're a moron. Because this is exactly why people voted for this president. It was because he promised to fight against the deep state. He took their money, and now he did a deal with Palantir. Gets harder every day, guys. Peace.
I know that that shit has been trying to be implemented in Mexico for a while. Brother sent me a message about that, and I was like, yeah, I was afraid of that. I did see that coming. They've been using, a matter of fact, one of these future classes, I'll touch on that deeply in regards to like who and how Mossad was infiltrated in Mexico from 1970 to like 1990, 98. You know what I'm saying? Like they've been there just like here. But over there, like more bluntly, bro. Like Les Vale Berg. Listen.
This is a really cool clip. This guy worked with the president in the first term. Didn't last very long because the president would not listen to him. He would not take legal advice from this person. He doesn't take legal advice from anybody because he doesn't care about the law. He's got his mandate and he's doing it.
It's not a normal American government anymore. You got to get that out of your head, guys. It's not a normal American government anymore. This has been a hostile takeover of your government, and it's been a hostile takeover of the processes and the respect for the government. You could hate George W. Bush. He's an institutionalist. He followed the government. You could hate Richard Nixon, institutionalist. Pick the president. Donald Trump is an anti-institutionalist. He wants to annihilate the system, and he's got a list of things that he wants to do to annihilate the system. He wrote it all down for you. Go read it. What are we doing? Are we going to really sit here and pretend that this is not happening to the country? But I can't do that. But I'm not doing that. And I know the guy, and I know what he's capable of, and I know the team around him. So I'll speak out, and if it gives you the courage to speak out, please speak out. Get on the phone and call your congressman or woman. What the hell are you doing? We don't want to wreck the system. He doesn't have a mandate to wreck the system. He won by 300,000 votes.
He makes some really good points. We're doing really well. We don't need to take away your Medicare. It makes no sense. We don't need to institutionally force AI on everybody and build out these server banks in the middle of nowhere to fucking power something that Americans don't want. Not one American I've spoken to wants to live in a surveillance state. This is all being thrust upon you. Epstein files, CIA, Mossad. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You promised to kill the deep state, and all you're doing is empowering the deep state. God save the mooch.
So they say. We all know Let's see if it's here. The great prostitute and the beast. Revelation 17:1. Here, I'll read it simply. Then one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came to me and said, "Come, and I will show you how the famous prostitute is to be punished. That great city that is built near many rivers. The kings of the earth practice sexual immorality with her, and the people of the world became drunk from drinking the wine of her immortality." You know, this is talking about this great whore that we are seeing and experiencing her become exposed. The Spirit took control of me, and the angel carried me into a desert. There I saw a woman sitting on a red beast that had names insulting to God written all over it. And the beast has 7 heads and 10 horns. And it says, the woman was dressed in purple and scarlet and covered with golden ornaments, precious stones and pearls. So this is a beautiful, powerful country, so to speak. In her hand, she held a gold cup of absence and filthy things, the result of her immorality. When you see cup drinking, it's like a particular spirit. You know, you could even say their religion, so to speak. They drank their religion fully. On her forehead was written a name that has a secret meaning: Great Babylon, the mother of all prostitutes and perverts in the world. Now, we know now for the first time, I mean, bluntly, leadership in this segment of Esau is pedo, straight up, attached to Epstein, the mother of all prostitutes and perverts in the world. I don't know, man. I'm still tripping on this right here. This right here. Like, let me show you this. I have a couple more videos and we'll be out. I'm not going to be too long because it's late. I got some things to do tomorrow morning. Check it out. I got this to show you because this is important. This is extremely important. I mean, what did you guys expect? I believe maybe they're trying to squeeze people to the point of submission. You know, based on their political, square context of things. The Bible is basically saying that it's putting pressure upon these people. That's a different thing. Let's go.
Country is going to work harder than we do for the hours that we work, for the pay that we're willing to work for. Nobody's going to do it. Just look at the fields of Texas right now. The construction workers are now having a moment of finding out that this economy is going to be impacted tremendously if there's a mass deportation. They're not going to find anybody who's going to do the work. Go to the fields. They're empty right now. Those are our people that are working, and they deserve to be respected. We built this country. From back when the railroad started, we built this country, okay? In one hand, you have companies here in Texas and across the United States who get rich off cheap labor by paying immigrants pennies on the dollar. And then on the other hand, they say deport them. Once they get their bags of money, and they get rich, and they say, I did it. Capitalism. No, you did it. We did it. Okay? We did it. We gave you the power. We gave you the money. In this country.
Yeah. I don't really know what to say about some talks like that because, in the same breath, it's all political. You know what I'm saying? I do have certain messages that I'd like to stay neutral, not just so political, because a lot of times that's just political right there. And I get it, man. I get it. Pero pues, the real shit is this.
The USA is way more dangerous than Mexico. And let me show you. In 2024, there were over 500,000 missing people reported in the USA. In the same year, only 13,500 people were reported missing in Mexico. Now, I know we always hear this in the news that 100,000 people have gone missing in Mexico. And this is true. But here's what they're not telling you. This figure of 100,000 people missing in Mexico dates back all the way to the 1960s. It's a cumulative total. That's 60 years worth of missing people, while in the USA, 500,000 go missing in 1 year. It's not even close. In 2024, there were over 300,000 cases of missing kids in the USA. In the same year, only 2,500 children were reported missing in Mexico. Now, don't forget that in the USA, every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing or is abducted according to the Center for Missing and Exploited Children. If that doesn't convince you that the United States is more dangerous than Mexico, this will. The USA averages 500 to 600 mass shootings a year. That's 2 to 3 mass shootings a day, while Mexico only averages 30 to 60. The USA has over 2 million people in jail, more than any other country. If the USA is so safe, why is everyone in jail? The USA has more serial killers than any other country. 70% of the world's serial killers are from the USA. Mexico does have problems and it does have crime. But 80% of the crimes in Mexico involve gang-on-gang violence, whereas the violence in the USA is random and indiscriminate against innocent people. So there you have it, guys. USA is way more dangerous than Mexico. But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
Yeah, but let me know what you guys think. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to share that with you. I think this is pretty real shit, right? And this is historic too, also. You can document that. You can find this information. What is it called? Operation Fast and Furious. Operation Fast Furious. Under who? Obama's baby's mama. You see? So before you guys go and assume that the left is any better than the right, nah. Not at all, my friends. This man deported many more people of our people, and he's the one that approved this shit right here. Supposedly scandal, though they say. Here, let me erase his name. Because, you know, they don't. Operation Fast and Furious was a controversial ATF initiative aimed at tracking firearms sold to suspected traffickers, which ultimately led to significant political fallout and tragic consequences. So these guys, these smartasses thought, hey, well, let's just, sell them some firearms, and then we'll track them because they'll go to the actual main people. And then we'll catch them that way. Supposedly, that's what their selling point was, but I'm sure it was not that in the first place. It was just to get guns in there. This was under Obama. Stop trying to tell me, bullshit. Look at this. And for you guys that, voted for and then found out and you got the whiplash from the, certain people telling you like, oh, I see how it is now. You see what I'm saying? Like I told you, stay the fuck out of it. It's not your government. Operation Fast and Furious. Check it out.
Ever hear someone say immigrants should just fix their own countries instead of coming here? Well, here's why many Mexican immigrants come to the U.S., and we'll call this the drug war edition. In the 1980s, the CIA turned a blind eye to drug trafficking so long as cartels aligned with our anti-communist efforts in Latin America. Eventually, in 2006, backed by U.S. money as well as U.S. pressure, newly elected President Felipe Calderón unleashed the military on Mexico's own cities as part of the Merida initiative to combat the cartels. We sent over $3 billion in training, weapons, and surveillance gear, but instead of stopping the cartels, this only fractured them, and these smaller groups turned even more violent with widespread kidnappings, beheadings, torture, and mass graves being normalized. And yes, we armed them. The ATF's Fast and Furious operation allowed over 2,000 U.S. guns to walk across the border, which ended up in the hands of the cartels. Thousands of Mexican citizens were killed as a result. The DEA even partnered with Sinaloa cartel informants, while again looking the other way on their trafficking, and cartel leaders were tipped off before raids. The goal was to build cases against rival traffickers in order to look good, but not to actually stop crime. So when you mix poverty, cartel violence, a corrupt government, and billions in U.S. military aid with zero accountability, what do you get? You get over 350,000 people dead and over 100,000 disappeared just since 2006. You get families and towns destroyed, and yes, you get migration. People don't come to the U.S. because they're criminals or they're looking to take advantage. They come because we help turn their communities into war zones. We could stop flooding Mexico with weapons, stop backing militarized crackdowns, and stop pretending this is their crisis alone. The reason we don't is because our leaders think the chaos and violence actually serve our interests. Now, these aren't just stories from the past. These are some of the reasons people are still coming here from Mexico. If you want to learn more about this, challenge the system, and not feel alone in caring about it, I've got a community for you. Discord links in the bio. You ever hear?
It's heavy duty shit, man. Because, like I told you, the tracker's here. The tracker is here. They got objectives. And while you're sitting back eating fries, they got objectives. Appreciate you guys that have been sticking around watching this channel. Like I think there's been consistent a couple of people, and so I appreciate you, bro. You know, keeping me company, bro. I don't feel so fucking lonely and shit. Nah, I don't. But appreciate y'all to be here. I think that's all I got. Hold on, let me just make sure. What was this? Yeah. Let me see. We'll save that for another time. We don't know yet. Anyhow, well, you guys take care. I'm about to finish it up.
Si no pruebas la nueva.
Hold on, fam. I'm not playing music. I'm calling it a night. All right? Y'all take care. I'll see you guys maybe next week. I'm working on a class that I've been trying to do for a while. I think I'm ready to do it. Vale, pues, buenas.
Soy mexicano y represento los colores de este pequeño el país de mis amores. Soy mexicano y represento los colores de este pequeño el país de mis amores. México para todos está en la cima del éxito, del éxito. Soy mexicano, soy mexicano, soy mexicano. Soy mexicano, soy mexicano, soy mexicano.
Ya, México lindo y querido, mi lugar donde he nacido. Le agradezco mucho a Dios que mexicano me ha elegido. Aquí la tierra del corrido, del hombre aguerrido, de mi gente chambeadora que jamás se me arrendó. México es un país mucho bonito, pura comida buena, por eso estamos gorditos. Oh, sí, sí señor, venga a probar los tacos al pastor con un vaso de agua o quizás de horchata, o si quiere también una coca de lata. Arriba México y su gente guapo, y más que nunca se busca nuestro nombre en el mapa.
Soy mexicano y represento los colores de este pequeño el país de mis amores. Soy mexicano y represento los colores de este pequeño el país de mis amores. México para todos está en la cima del éxito, del éxito. Soy mexicano, soy mexicano, soy mexicano. Soy mexicano, soy mexicano, soy mexicano.
Soy de México, este país es mío y tuyo, la nación de mis amores, te lo digo con orgullo. Verde, blanco, rojo, qué bonito, una serpiente al pico del águila real. Adiós dinosaurios, cayó el meteorito, se cree en la península de Yucatán. Que tu cora vibre con la lucha libre, con el cine de oro que sale Tintán. Tú tienes a Batman, nosotros tenemos al Chapulín Colorado que es mejor que Spider-Man. Mariachi, tacos, tequila, mezcal, que viva México como este país nunca habrá igual. Yo
soy mexicano y represento los colores de este pequeño el país de mis amores. Soy mexicano y represento los colores de este pequeño el país de mis amores. Es Alberto Saucedo, el Getsi GH y el compa 100.
México lindo y querido. hora de despertar al gigante dormido.
Grammarly helps me get the best grade.
Del mar los vieron llegar, mis hermanos emplumados serán los hombres barbados de la profecía esperada. Se oyó la voz del monarca de que el Dios había llegado y les abrimos la puerta. Por temor a lo ignorado, iban montados en bestias, como demonios del mal, iban con fuego en las manos y cubiertos de metal. Solo el valor de unos cuantos les opuso resistencia, y al mirar correr la sangre se llenaron de vergüenza, porque los dioses ni comen ni gozan con lo robado. Y cuando nos dimos cuenta, ya todo estaba acabado, y en ese error entregamos la grandeza del pasado, y en ese error nos quedamos 300 años esclavos. Se nos quedó el maleficio de brindar al extranjero nuestra fe, nuestra cultura, nuestro pan, nuestro dinero, y le seguimos cambiando oro por cuentas de vidrio, y damos nuestras riquezas por sus espejos con brillo. Siglo XX nos siguen llegando rubios y les abrimos la casa y los llamamos amigos, pero si llega cansado un indio de andar la sierra, lo humillamos y lo vemos como extraño por su tierra. Hipócrita que te muestras humilde ante el extranjero, pero te vuelves soberbio con tus hermanos del pueblo. Oh, maldición de Malinche, enfermedad del presente, ¿cuándo dejarás mi tierra? ¿Cuándo harás libre a mi gente?
y cal, hijo
Hijo, abre los ojos. Abre los ojos. Tu cuerpo se queda con nosotros, pero tu espíritu debe seguir. Busca la luz. Aléjate de las sombras. Deja que nuestro dolor sea tu fuerza. Desde aquí dominamos tu camino. Lucha como nosotros apenas tan grande. Yo soy tú. Eres yo. La muerte que hoy nos separa, mañana volverá a unirnos. Eres libre, hijo.